Hello, greetings and welcome back to the channel. I did not expect to come back to this franchise that I've been left behind the last previous year or year and a half. But now I come back to it to make this video. I have an excuse for making a video of this. And that's a Devil May Cry video, yes. But this is kind of a big news. So if you have been living under a rock for the past week, basically, for the previous week, back at the end of August, Hideaki Tsuno, the director for Devil May Cry 1 through 5, has officially left Capcom. Now, in terms of my recording, it has been basically a few weeks ago. So this is back a few weeks back. So he left and he took to Twitter and shared his his announcement. He announced it on Twitter, and I'll read his statement. And it says in that quote, I have announced for all my followers at the end of August 2024, I'll be leaving Capcom after 30 years and 5 months. Thank you for your long-term support of the games and characters I've been responsible for. I hope you will continue supporting Capcom games and characters from September. I will start developing a new game in a new environment. I hope to create fun, beautiful games that are as memorable as or even more memorable than the ones I've created so far. Please stay tuned for my next creation, Hideaki Tsuno. This is coming from Hideaki Tsuno's Twitter, and he has put out the statement. So he basically has officially left Capcom. This is now the third person out of the best people that are leaving. First is Shinji Mikami, Hideki Kamiya. Both these guys made their own game company, Tango Studios and Platinum Games respectively. And now Hideaki Tsuno left, which kind of now sucks. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, is this the end of the Devil May Cry series? Do you think the series is gone? I would say yes. I do believe, the series is dead. As a game franchise, I do believe it's dead. But as an IP, it's still gonna keep going. Of course, with other titles, they will use the Devil May Cry IP for other stuff, as in costumes and color costumes and everything for different Devil May Cry characters. If you guys remembered, for example, Marvel's Capcom 3 with Dante and Virgil being a playable character, or having colored outfits for Street Fighter. So they will use Devil May Cry as well as Dead Rising. So they use DMC IP for other stuff outside of that, other Capcom product. But as a Capcom IP itself, I feel it's gone. With Hideaki Tsuno's exit, I felt the series is dead. The series has been dead before it. I feel this is dead. It's done. It's over. There's not gonna be any more Devil May Cry titles. And I know the community has been in a state of shock. A state of I'm shocked myself that Hideaki Tsuno is leaving. Well, I have a theory of why he left. And take with my theory for the grain of salt. This is just my own speculation. I feel Hideaki Tsuno wanted to leave for a long time. If I would say when, I would say 10 years ago. At the bare minimum 10 years ago, after the reboot. Even though the reboot, even though Hideaki Tsuno stated a lot that the reboot was got inspired by the reboot to make the 5th title in a certain degree. But I feel he's a bit frustrated because his games do not, met the sales requirement for Capcom. The higher ups do not see any value of both these franchises compared to Monster Hunter, Street Fighter or Resident Evil. The higher-ups don't think that that Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma both are like saying that, yeah, we should definitely, give them the attention they deserve, give them their full potential. It's like they don't, like, they see it as like niche, tiny franchises that they would never like touch. And I do believe that Capcom never won a 5th title of the Devil May Cry series. So I think what Hideki did, is he decided to say, okay, let me make these 2 games and I can leave, because that's what he wanted. He wanted to leave Capcom. And a lot of, it's kind of funny that a lot of the like directors and shit, when they're in their 50s, at least, they leave their respective company they worked like for like over like 2 decades and made their own company. Like the other 2 I just mentioned, Hideki Kamiya and Shinji Mikami. Also, if I put this as well in this foil, is Hideo Kojima. Kojima, as well, he left Konami, but there's different. He left Konami and pursued his own gaming studio, Kojima Productions. He as well follows that same exact path. And it happens a lot with Japanese developers. They want to just do their own thing before they retire. So Hideaki-san's following that same footstep, but he's not going to make his own game company. He's probably going to be a part of a game company. I don't know if he can make his own game company. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. So my theory is this, that I think Hideki Tsuno was pretty pissed off at the higher-ups of Capcom and really want the Devil May Cry series, specifically Devil May Cry, because it has a lot more fan base than the Dragon's Dogma franchise, to be loved and give it the same attention. And Capcom is not even wanted to even consider it, because they would rather milk the Resident Evil franchise up and down the fucking streets and not give Devil May Cry a similar treatment of like just giving it more games and kind of giving the franchise the potential. Let's see, reach its own potential. So that's like my opinion on this. It's just me, and it really sucks. It really does suck. So the future looks very dark, even almost non-existent. And I'm gonna tell you this, that the real, and for those people who do not know, I used to make Devil May Cry content back in the day. And the real reason why I made that particular video that I did, the last video I made for Devil May Cry, which I'll link it down below, because I had no hope for the series, and I felt hopeless with the franchise, and I felt like there's not gonna be any future. That's why I left. And plus, Capcom is unwilling to give a flying fuck about the franchise. They never want Devil May Cry to be part of their RE Engine games. They never wanted it. They never even needed the series anymore. Like, they just literally just want to let the series, like, carry the dust, while Resident Evil is literally getting all the fucking spotlight and making a bunch of games. Like, hear this. Capcom will never, ever, ever outsource the Resident Evil franchise to other companies than them. But Capcom outsourced Devil May Cry series not once, but twice. Once, the one time to the West and gave us the reboot, and the second time to a Japanese company for a gacha Devil May Cry game, which really sucked, by the way, to be honest. And as far as I'm concerned, the series is dead. For what I'm seeing, it's dead. But Hideaki Tsuno's departure was the final nail of the coffin. I don't believe we're gonna see a Devil May Cry title in the near future. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe they might surprise me and they probably give us some more Devil May Cry content and make a Devil May Cry remake. Like, a 6th title will never gonna happen without Hideaki Tsuno's, like, being around. And I just don't see it. I'm sorry, like, I don't see any future with the franchise anymore. There's no future. There's barely any. And it kind of blows, because I love the series and care for the franchise, but to be honest, the last few years, out to the last 2-3 years, just shows Capcom's true intentions. They don't care for the franchise. They don't want to include their games. They don't want to play their games. They would use the IP for other shit, but they'll not make a game out of it. It's the same thing with Mega Man. Like, you know how like they would use the Mega Man IP for just other stuff and not use the IP itself to make games? It's kind of like that. They will use it as like it's basically say, hey, we have some Devil May Cry skins and all that. That's the best thing you can give. Like, we can't give games because we don't have no plans. Even though they can literally, if they stop making Resident Evil content, then maybe, just maybe, they might just do it. That's the thing. And here's another thing to say, y'all. Vote with your wallet. If you want to see more Devil May Cry games, people should stop buying their stuff, buying Resident Evil, and vote with your wallet. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna keep like pumping out Resident Evil content like their fucking lives depend on it because the higher up said so. Because literally, the higher up says so. Could you imagine in an alternate timeline, like the Devil May Cry series was getting the potential, and we haven't gotten a remake. It's 2024, and the original game came out in 2001. And like, to give you an idea, like how fucking, like, to give you an idea, Resident Evil 1 remake, it took them a good 6 years to develop the first game remake. But you know, it was there for the Capcom 5, and they want to say, hey, let's just remake it for the fuck of it. It took them 20 years to make a Devil May Cry, a Resident Evil 2 remake. It took them it took another 20 years. It took 20 years for Resident Evil. Ugh, tongue twisters, damn, tongue twisters been going crazy. Resident Evil 3 remake took between the original and the remake 20 years, and then in about 17 years to 18 years it took them to remake the fourth title, the Resident Evil 4 remake. Devil May Cry has got nothing. With its anniversaries for Resident Evil, they will make anything, and I mean anything. For God's sakes, their first, like the 20th anniversary, they made a Call of Duty like fucking shooter that nobody wants, but they did it anyway. Heck, the 25-year anniversary, so-called 25 years, quote-unquote, we got basically some garbage-ass multiplayer game that's like a Fortnite clone. I mean, they will make anything with Resident Evil content on it, 100%. Devil May Cry 20th anniversary, we didn't get nothing. We got jack fucking shit, just a mention on Twitter, and there you go. That's because that's how fucking much Devil May Cry is getting. It's getting barely anything. It sucked. It really fucking sucked. It's just a sad day. That's the whole thing. It's just a sad state in the fact that it happened. It's pretty sad. It's terrible. And all I have to say is this. Thank you, Hideaki Tsuno, for giving us the opportunity for this amazing franchise, for saving Devil May Cry the Devil May Cry series from the brink of extinction. Thank you so much for your support, and hopefully you will make a game that's worthy at your caliber, and you can be bouncing free ideas and be like free from Capcom shackles. Oh yeah, by the way, Capcom, fuck you.
That's the only kind of gift worth giving. I want to entrust it to you, so I am. What you do from here is your call.
Hey, Dante. Will we meet again?